Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com, helping you create something awesome today. So today, real quick, I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite features of the Panasonic Lumix G7. Yeah, I probably should do like my 7 favorite features of the Panasonic Lumix G7. You know what? In fact, changing the video title right now. Let's do my 7 favorite features of the Panasonic Lumix G7. So first of all, my favorite feature has to be the flip out touchscreen. I love that. I love that, it can flip out. I can self-record. You guys have seen me do that before. I did it for my 4K video test, and the touchscreen is really convenient. I haven't had a touchscreen in a camera like this before, so that's something that in using it, I found was very practical for me. It made things go a lot faster, especially at conferences where I'm trying to run and gun. So I just like that, especially for getting through the menu system. One of the other cool features I really like on this is the Wi-Fi capability. Now, the Wi-Fi for this works a lot better on the Panasonic app for my Android than it does for my iPhone, and I cannot explain why. I don't know. I'm just really glad that I have both ecosystems of smartphone, because I think there are going to be more and more situations like that where one is better than the other for some things, and that's why I do it. So having Wi-Fi on a camera like this is really convenient for a lot of reasons for me. One, it's another option as far as a remote, so you don't have to go out and buy one as far as a wireless trigger for anything, so that's really cool. I like that even if I wasn't in a position where using the flip screen is practical for me, I can monitor from the phone or from a tablet. So there are a lot of interesting uses for that and a lot of ways you can get creative with it. So I think that's a great second feature of this. One of the features I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did is the 4K stills. The 4K stills, for me, as somebody who works primarily digitally, is very practical, because when I'm doing editing and I'm doing stuff for video, I actually could shoot very loose and shoot a still of something for a product review, and then I can crop in and I can add motion to it in post in Adobe Premiere. So for product reviews and creating an almost slider-like effect, this is actually really cool to use the still images in that way, or to get something very high quality as a still that I want to use as a thumbnail and have a lot of room to crop in and get creative with it. So I really like it for those reasons. The fourth reason that I really like this is 4K video is one of my favorite features of this camera. It's probably the primary reason that I bought it. 4K video is something that is not practical for the far majority of you, especially because maybe you're a YouTuber. You gotta remember, I'm doing this for things for my business. Shooting 4K video is gonna become more and more important commercially. So when I'm working with people who are public speakers or authors, having 4K video capability lets me stand out. So in my dealings with them and shooting stuff for their reels, shooting stuff for them commercially, that is something that is an advantage, something that you can charge more for, and something that lets you stand out. And this makes it very affordable for me to do it. So I really like that feature, and I'm building a whole computer around 4K video editing as we speak. My fifth favorite feature is the actual form factor and all of the dials and buttons and the entire layout ergonomically. I love it. I really do. This is something that's actually really convenient for me and is easy for me to take advantage of. And it's something that I think works out a little better than the other cameras I've used. Even when I've borrowed and used the Sony a6000 or the Sony a7R II, those layouts were fine, but this is actually my favorite camera layout so far, and I really dig it. It's really easy for me to use the custom function buttons, and that really makes a lot of sense for me. It's something that I've gotten very comfortable with in a short period of time, and it's one of the best camera experiences I have. It's getting me to shoot more, actually. Feature number 6. The electronic viewfinder. I know there are a lot of you who don't like the electronic viewfinder. You prefer an optical viewfinder. I prefer the electronic viewfinder because of my poor vision and the fact that I usually need glasses. It's always been a struggle for me to decide whether or not to shoot with my glasses and take advantage of the LCD screen, or to take them off and just use the viewfinder. With the electronic viewfinder, is now easier for me, even being vision impaired, to just go ahead and take my glasses off, trust this and my native eye for the shots that I want, and that makes a lot of sense. I love being able to see the data and the readout, and that's great for me. So I really dig the electronic viewfinders, and that's what I'm really looking forward to in the future. It's what I like about the mirrorless cameras more than the DSLRs, and so for me, that is a big plus here. My 7th favorite feature on this is the longer record time. I can get 30 minutes on this, and here's the beauty of it. I can record instantly back to back without a cooldown. So that's kind of another feature of it, is that I can just record back to back for 20 or 30 minutes depending on how I set this up. And that's really convenient for me. This is actually how I filmed, or rather how I had a volunteer, a great guy named Tom, film one of my last speaking sessions, How Design Live. It was easy for Tom to film that for 45, 50 minutes back to back using this camera. If he had been using one of my Nikon DSLRs, he wouldn't have been able to do that for me, and it wouldn't have worked out. So I really appreciate that this has that functionality and feature. They don't have the overheating. Some of you have mentioned that about the Sony mirrorless cameras. And if I had the Panasonic Lumix GH4 instead of the G7, I actually wouldn't have a record time limit of 30 minutes. I could actually just shoot an hour straight, or an hour and a half, as long as I have the memory card capability. And I think that that is tremendous. I think that for a lot of people in marketing, in filmmaking, in public speaking, that is a great feature to have in a camera. And I like that this is just a little bit scaled down of that, but 30 minutes is still better than 20, guys. It really is. So there you have it, my 7 favorite features of the Panasonic Lumix G7. That was actually really fun to do. Maybe I should do like my 13 favorite features of the Dell XPS 13, because I think that could be interesting, or 13 things to like, or 13 reasons to buy, something like that. I really like these kind of videos. I like running through them and just kind of geeking out with you guys about what I like in this gear. Anyway, that's it. I'm loving this camera. It's been great for my business. It's gonna be great for my public speaking. I'm using this for all my upcoming speaking engagements. I'm even gonna start recording my behind the scenes. I'm doing Toastmasters now, so I'm doing public speaking practice, and maybe I'm gonna film my practices. I've been using those to study myself. Maybe I'll start showing you guys that here on the channel. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys now are ready to make an informed buying decision one way or the other on your camera. Links are in the description below of recommended cameras and gear, lenses for this bad boy. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Ask me your questions in the comments. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching. And remember, create something awesome today with whatever camera you happen to have.